So what's the number one reason to get your degree? To get a good job, right? Well, in order to do that, you first need to ace the interview. So I'm here today to help demonstrate how to ace the job interview to get the job that you want. I've been a manager for over 10 years and I have interviewed many people and have hired them. So I want to pass on my advice to you. Number one, be prepared and do your homework. There are three main parts to your preparation. Number one is preparing for the interview. Two, preparing to be asked questions. And three, prepare for questions to ask the interviewer. Okay, so my goal here today is to help demonstrate how to ace your interview. The average interview takes about 40 minutes. And guys, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. So make sure you're doing what you need to do to prepare for an interview and do your homework. There are three main components of your research. So this should entail, one, the company. Two, the interviewer. Yes, you are going to research the person that you're doing an interview with. And three, salary for the position, because you need to know the answer to the question they're going to ask. What are your salary requirements? Okay, so number one, research the company. Guys, nowadays it's not enough just to go to the website and say, oh yeah, I went to your website and I know a little bit about your organization. No, you need to do your research and know the history of the company. How many years has it been in business? What are the products and services it offers? Who are the competitors? Is it a public or private organization? If it's public, go online, look up on the NASDAQ and the index and see how the company is doing. Two, research the interviewer. Those of you that don't know LinkedIn, it's a website that it's like Facebook, but it's for professionals. So you can go to LinkedIn.com, which I've done here, and I'm typing in the person that I did my last interview with my current position. And she, when I did that, she's been with the company for 21 years and 4 months, which is very impressive because nobody is at a company that long. It's very rare that you hear that. So just before setting my my phone interview and talking with her, my question was to her, tell me, have you really been with the company for 20 years? And what do you think that impression was to her? We weren't even at the interview yet, and I was already researching her and the organization. Okay, that is key. And then three, you're gonna do your research on the component of salary for the position. A great website to do this is Glassdoor.com. And if you go to Glassdoor.com, you can type in an organization. I know in Scranton, Pennsylvania, Cigna is a large organization there. So I typed in Cigna and Scranton, Pennsylvania, and on here there are 782 reviews of the company. There are 1.3 thousand salaries, so different positions and the salaries of those positions. Of course, it's anonymous. And there's 290 interviews about the process, questions that they ask, and they gave Cigna a 3.3 stars out of 4. So it sounds like it's a great company to work for. So you want to do your research. Again, this is Glassdoor.com. Okay, and then perjobvite.com, little company knowledge is a common mistake. So don't make that mistake, okay? So the day of the interview, don't arrive too early. Of course, don't arrive late. You want to arrive about 15 minutes early. Professional dress and professional accessories and makeup for the ladies. You don't have to go with the basic navy or black, but make sure it's professional, nothing too trendy. Be prepared to be asked questions. So the number one question most likely to be asked is, tell me about yourself. So this is a 2 to 3 minute infomercial about yourself. You want to keep it professional. Tell about yourself and tell about the value that you will bring to the organization. What you don't want to do is tell why you want the position and that I don't have to work 2 jobs anymore and I'll get paid vacation and I'll have money to pay my babysitter. Okay, not. You want to keep it professional. Again, you're selling yourself. So let me give you an example.
So Karen, tell me a little bit about you.
Okay, well, thank you, Alan. Yes, well, I've been a manager for 10 years, and every company that I have worked for has benefited from the bottom line from my contribution. And I've been in my current job title for 5 years. I'm really ready to take on a new endeavor and more responsibility, and is why I'm here today talking to you and exploring new opportunities. Okay, so that is an example of how your 2 to 3 minute infomercial could go. Okay, now the day of the interview, you want to bring a portfolio, okay, and I will tell you guys, 9 out of 10 people do not bring anything with them to the interviewer. You want to be rememberable, and you're going to do that by being prepared, bringing a portfolio. I suggest bringing 3 copies of your resume. You don't know if you're going to interview with 2 people, and then you also have 1 for yourself to follow along. Okay, you can tuck that in here. You have a pen, a notebook to take notes. Please take notes. I hope you're taking some right now. And you should have questions prepared that you are going to ask the interviewer. Okay, so yes, you are going to ask 4 to 6 questions of the interviewer. This is your chance to interview them. 4 standard questions, and I can give you a few examples.
So Karen, do you have any questions for us?
I do actually. You've answered some of them already, but a few questions that I do have is, can you tell me typically what a typical day would be like in this position? So this is a mock, so for sake of time, we're not going to answer, but another question that I have is, what do you foresee as my biggest challenge in the position? This question you want to respond to after they answer on how you can overcome that based on your experience. Number 3, where do you see the company in 5 years, Alan? Where do you see it in 10? Okay, another great question to ask. And finally, 4, what do you like about working for the company? Okay, that's always a great question to ask, and I had a lot of insight into my current employer when I asked. She had 20 years experience. That was a great question to ask. Okay, and then the number one mistake not asked in an interview is not asking for the job. So at the end of the interview, you have to be comfortable in asking, and I don't care how you ask, but you have to ask for the job. Okay, so another example of this is,
Karen, do you have anything else for us?
I do, and I'm really excited about this opportunity. I think I am a great fit, and I have a lot to offer for the organization. And when can I start? Okay, so again, do it how you feel comfortable, but make sure you're asking for the job at the end of the interview. Okay. So you also want to follow up within 24 hours with an email thanking them for the interview. Again, the key to successful interviewing is practice, practice, practice. So in conclusion, what have we learned? We learned to ace the interview by being prepared and doing your research for the company, the interviewer, and the salary for the position based off LinkedIn and Glassdoor.com. We learned the number 1 question most likely asked is, tell me about yourself. And it is a 2 to 3 minute infomercial about yourself. We learned 4 basic questions to have prepared, and this is your chance to interview them. The number one most common mistake in the job interview is failing to ask for the job. And don't let your hard work of getting your degree go by failing to prepare for your interview with the same vigor and tenacity. Thank you, and I wish you the best of luck.